Man, this beat is crazy. Man, this beat is crazy. This beat is crazy. Man, this beat is crazy. Man, this beat is crazy. Man, this beat is crazy.
Yes, yes, y'all, to the beach, y'all. Yes, yes. Oh my God, that beat was so sick. I didn't want to cut it off. Oh my God. But anyway, I am Noel A. Figueroa, aka the Anointed Pen, and this is season 2, numero dos of the P.W.P sessions. Yes, sir. We're kicking off the new season, going in a slightly different direction. This time, I'm on a mission to include rappers and MCs, or MCs rather, in addition to regular poets and authors. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you will not be disappointed tonight. As my guest, my very first guest for this second season is none other than Manny Gonzalez, Manuel Gonzalez, excuse me, aka ZALES. We're gonna politic for a few minutes, get into some conversation. Then he's gonna do his thing on the mic, and then we're gonna open up the floor to the Q&A session. I thank you all so much for joining me tonight, and I'm gonna share my screen just to go over a few particulars, and then we're gonna dive into the podcast. All right, y'all. So as I mentioned, this is season 2, episode 1, and my guest for this evening is none other than ZALES. Now, for those of you not already familiar with this podcast, the P.W.P sessions is a podcast I created where I'll be interviewing new or established authors of poetry, as well as MCs, and will feature a performance of their work along with an audience Q&A session. My name is Noel A. Figueroa. I am a poet, author, blogger, workshop facilitator, and event host, and I am the creator of the P.W.P sessions. And my guest for this evening is ZALES, aka Manny Gonzalez. Manny ZALES Gonzalez is a rapper, producer, videographer, and visual artist from the Bronx, New York. The son of Honduran immigrants, he got a Big Apple education as a student of hip hop and 90s skateboarding which molded his creativity and DIY attitude. An MC of 20 years, an MC of 20 plus years. His influences include the Notorious B.I.G., Big Pun, Wu-Tang Clan, and DJ Premier. Formerly a member of the Apollons, he has opened up for Circa 95, Rebel Diaz, Chic Luch of the Locks, D-Block, and the late Fred the Godson. His latest single, Rucker Park, can be heard on his YouTube channel, ZALES and Destroy, and on streaming platforms. You can also see him on YouTube as one half of the Carbon Couple. He is the current host, booker, and promoter of Wordmasters at Casa Restaurant and Lounge, an open mic for lyricists, songwriters, and poets and storytellers, happening every last Thursday of the month. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the mic, to the stage, none other than ZALES. What up, yo? What's good? What's good?
Yo, what's going on, Noel? How you doing? How's
Yo,
everybody
what's
doing?
really good, man? Thanks for being my guest, man. I'm excited going to this slightly new direction for my second season. Yo, I'm amped, I'm hyped, I'm ready to get down to business. So if you's
That's
ready,
what's
I'm
up.
ready.
I'm ready.
All right, so bust it. Check it out. This is how I start off all my podcast interviews, with a basic question. Who are you? Who is ZALES? How would you define yourself or describe yourself?
All right, so I am the son of Honduran immigrants, like you said. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I am an MC of 20 years and an artist, visual artist. I'm big on creativity. Anything that I do, it has to have a little bit of my flavor, my style in it. And I pride myself in creating art, especially coming from a place where people don't think art comes from. I know the Bronx is a real gritty place. Hip hop is a really gritty culture, but even though we're rough around the edges, there's a lot of beauty to be found in that. And so I've always prided myself being a counterculture person. I'm into different types of music, not just hip hop. I'm into like heavy rock, like metal and hardcore music. I'm a skateboarder. And so it's just an amalgamation of all those things coming together.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, what made you want to be like, yo, I want to take the mic and I want to do this? You know, what made you want to get motivated to start?
So I went to the Bronx High School for the Visual Arts, and I met a bunch of like-minded individuals. I saw that a couple brothers were starting a freestyle table, and I had dabbled with poetry, you know, and writing things and lyrics and stuff like that for a bit, but I didn't ever see like, you know, almost kind of like a competition, almost like a tryout, where people were just, you know, testing their rhymes against each other. And I thought it was fascinating. And skateboarding actually got me into a lot of underground hip hop. And so seeing that coming into high school, I wanted to participate. I started rapping. And from there, it's just history.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, when you started, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, when they start talking about certain things. Like, what did you start talking about when you took the mic in the beginning?
When I first took the mic, I talked about the things that I was going through as a kid. Didn't really have, you know, the best upbringing in the Bronx. My parents did a wonderful job raising me, but of course, the streets are going to get to your kids eventually. And so the things that I was getting into, kind of trouble I was getting into, I'll rap about that. But I was really into like Eminem and like a lot of Eminem isn't really underground, but you know how his attitude is. It's very, I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna do what I want. And I'm gonna just say the most outlandish, craziest stuff. And even though it's been a long time since then, a lot of that has stuck with me. I still tend to say a lot of crazy stuff. I really like Sean Price. Sean Price used to say the craziest stuff in his rhymes. And I liken hip hop, especially like rapping and the art of emceeing, to almost a martial art. And so you have to be tough and strong when you do this.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Now, like when you after you got started, right? You doing your thing on the mic, right? Like who do you give credit to? Who do you give credit to that was there and they were like, yo, yo, step to that mic, son. Yo, you got it. You know, who helped? Who was encouraging you to do it and helping, you know, perfect yourself? You know what I mean?
So early on, it was a lot of the guys that I went to high school with. Through my high school, I spent a lot of time at the Bronx Museum of the Arts, and there I met Ref Star, who was half of Circa 95. He was mentoring youth with hip hop culture, teaching them how to rap and holding rap workshops. And he mentored me. If it wasn't for Ref, I don't know where I'd be right now. And the guys that I met through the program, which was called Voices Unbroken, which is a nonprofit here in the Bronx, they work with at-risk youth and youth that are incarcerated to teach them creative writing skills. And we weren't necessarily like have records or in jail, but we were knucklehead kids that wanted to rap, and Ref welcomed us and pretty much put up with our nonsense. And his section of the program is called Rhyme Factory. So it was Voices Unbroken and Rhyme Factory with Ref. He basically was the one who fostered the development of me as a rapper. And the guys that I met there are still my friends to this day. We were members in rap groups together. I'm just the only one really taking music seriously. Hopefully they'll come along with the ride, you know, eventually. But right now I'm just trying to do me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, like when you first started, like what was, when did you first take the stage? Like what was that defining moment when, where did you perform for the first time? And then at that moment, like, did you know that this is what you want to do?
So I've been doing this rap thing for a long time. So I remember hitting stages pretty early. So I may be confusing this for the first time, but one of the first major like milestones was when I opened up for Rebel Diaz. Rebel Diaz is a hip hop duo from Chicago. They actually had a venue here in the Bronx called the Rebel Diaz Arts Collective, where they did a show every month. And this is before they created the Rebel Diaz Arts Collective, but they had a show in Manhattan and Bleecker Street. And it was the first time I had like been at an adult hip hop show. And I was still like, I don't know, probably like 18 years old. And I couldn't even get into the club on a regular basis. But I was put on stage and the lights that were blinding, and I was like, I can't even see the crowd. But Ref told me, yo, do your thing, do what you know you can do. And from there, like it's like I got addicted to being on stage and performing.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now there's lots of conversations about hip hop, right? Talking about like what it was then and what it was now. And some people are like, you know, it's not what it used to be, you know, and it's like a lot of negativity, a lot of, you know, a lot of trash, a lot of stuff, you know, that don't need to be done, you know, stuff like that. In your opinion, you know, because, you know, you're saying you have some longevity in the game, like, what do you think the state of hip hop is? Yeah.
You're gonna have to answer the question again.
Yeah. So I'm like, considering how the state of hip hop now, like some people think it's not what it used to be. Like, what's your perspective on that? Like, do you feel it's gotten better or gotten worse?
Uh-oh.
All right, so pardon the technical difficulties. What's your opinion on the state of hip hop?
So right now, hip hop has really, I would say, diversified itself with the different subcultures it's hitting. I feel like I understand where people are coming from when it comes to how the feeling of hip hop has kind of been lost, that real, authentic from the soul type of music. I feel because hip hop is a youth culture. The way the youth express themselves is going to change how hip hop is. But fundamentally and at its core, I feel like hip hop is very much just like it was back in the day. No one wanted hip hop around. And even at this point, hip hop being the highest selling genre of music, you know, when it comes to the charts, coming up as a hip hop artist, there's a lot of people are reluctant to put you on, especially if you rap about certain you know, subjects. I don't really like to call myself like a gangster rapper or a conscious rapper. I just rap. It's the things that I see, the things that I feel, things I want to put down on music. Those are the things I'm going to go to and write about. And I see where there's pushback with kind of my content. And so, you know, it allows me to see it from a perspective of, if I'm not welcome, you know, as like this rapper, like, you know, somebody who really raps, it's pretty much going to be tough for anybody. And so hip hop is a culture of misfits and people who really don't belong and outcast. And we made something out of nothing. We created a culture where we bought sound systems to, you know, abandoned buildings and abandoned lots, and we made the party rock. And so that's what these kids are doing now. And it's just a lot more glitz and glamour, of course, because hip hop is a pop culture thing now. I feel like a lot of the arguments that get brought up about hip hop are pretty much the same arguments that got brought up about gangster rap in the early 90s and 80s, in the late 80s. How even some people like saw like The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, how he was talking about things that were actually affecting his neighborhood and not just about partying or you know, talking to a girl. It started to become more of a social commentary. And I feel like whenever music, you know, puts up a mirror to society and then they see what they don't like, you can't blame the mirror. You know, it's something wrong with society that's causing the music to be that way.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've ever listened to Mos Def's first album, Black on Both Sides, but on the intro, he says something about people talking about hip hop and like, how is hip hop going to be better? And he's like, hip hop isn't something that lives in the mountains. It's within us. The only way it's going to get better is if we get better. And the only way we can get better is if we know that we were created by God. You know, so it's something that people are lacking pride in themselves, and that dignity is kind of showing in the music.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's definitely. And what do you feel, or like what makes you stand out for everybody else? In this game, a whole lot of folk, a whole lot of folk want to sound like each other. Like what makes you different? What makes you stand out from the crowd?
So the way that I'm different is, oh, I'm sorry, my camera's gonna come right back on. But the way that I'm different is that my music is, it harkens back to the days of old hip hop, when the rockers and the punks all got together downtown, and they were all scrappy kids trying to come up, and that hunger that that you really don't see when it comes to like lyrical rap. But I'm also very in tune with what sounds are catchy and what's popular. And so it's a mix of those two, a balance of just enough, I wouldn't even say just shock value, but just intensity and, bringing something different that you don't see in rap, kind of like how metal bands were back in the 80s. I'm very big on the spectacle of the performance. And I'm also, since I went to art school, I attended drama classes and been trained in theater. And so I'm really big on putting on a show. When I'm on stage, I'm a different person. And performing is one of the biggest things about like me as a rapper. I love to perform. I don't perform over my vocals. I project my voice like I'm giving a speech, and that with still being able to like rock the mic and have people have fun.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now, when you take the stage, right, or like when you writing, You know what I mean? And when you're ready to take the stage, it's like, what's important for you to talk about? Like what subjects matter to you that when you take the stage and you grab that mic, you wholeheartedly want to spit that.
So the things that I want to talk about, I, I tend to bring up my anger a lot in my music, because hip hop, since its inception has been like a yelling, like somebody screaming for help. They want to be heard. And so I just want my story to be heard. And I want like the things that I go through, if it resonates with somebody, they can learn a lesson from me. And even then, if it just on an artistic level, I want people to know that, oh no, like he may be painting an ugly picture, but the brushstrokes he's using are very artful. He's mastered his craft. And even though he tells us something ugly, he can still tell it to us in a beautiful way.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, if you could take the stage with anybody, like any one person or any group,
Wow.
Past, present, any one person or group that you feel is lit, like, yo, I gotta work with them. It's like, who would it be and why?
There are a couple different people. There's so many different artists that I think are awesome. If we're talking about back in the day, I would have loved to work with Biggie and Big Pun, some of the best rappers ever to ever do it. Their technical rap skill and their style and their swagger influenced me in a lot of ways. When it comes to people that are more contemporary, one of the biggest artists that I think fueled my music and also just fueled me thinking about music in a different way was Mac Miller. The late and great Mac Miller. His music was amazing. I feel like his music saved my life. If it wasn't for his album Good AM, I probably wouldn't be here because I deal with a lot of things. My pops had died and just a whole bunch of stuff a couple of years back, and Mac Miller's music really saved me. And the way that boy was, he made beats and he rapped, and each day, each project, he will out rap himself. It showed the progression and showed that artistry. And because I was a fan of Mac Miller, I was introduced to Anderson .Paak, and I think he's an amazing artist. Like that will be like, I think the main artist that I would want to like work with and hit the stage and do music with will be Anderson. And I really like Kendrick. I really like J. Cole. And if there was one rap group I could perform with, like out of all of them, it'd be Wu-Tang.
Yes,
I
yo,
love the Wu-Tang is forever.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, are there certain subjects you talk about more than others, or are you just like, I'll talk about whatever?
So it depends on the project that I'm working on, where I'm at mentally, and where the production is going. This project that I'm working on right now that Rucker Park is from, it's called Shogun in New York, and it's going to be mostly like gritty, New York hip hop album. I was making some beats, and I finally got to the point where I feel like my production can stand for itself. And so pairing that with the rapping that I've been doing all these years, these new songs, the beat kind of just takes me where it wants to go. And I'm very meticulous when it comes to music. Like I hold on to stuff almost like Dr. Dre. Like I won't release stuff for a very long time until I feel like it's perfect. And that's actually something I'm learning to get over. The people want the music, so it got to come out.
All right, most definitely, most definitely. Now, how important is it for you to make sure you representing yourself, like through your music, like in terms of like who you are, where you're from, manhood, religion, if it applies to you, like every facet of who you are that applies to you. Like, how important is it to you that whenever you grab the mic or take the stage, how important is it to you that you make sure that you're representing yourself in your totality?
So one of the reasons my name is ZALES is because ZALES, of course, is the famous diamond store. And the thing about diamonds is that they're multifaceted. The reason why people love them so much is because their faces interact with light and, reflect light and make them sparkle. And the thing about diamonds are that diamonds, are just carbon. They're just trees and plant life and humans and animals and the remnants of that being pressed under the earth and creating something new. And so in every single, for it's not a pun, but for in every facet of of my artistic expression, I always make sure that I represent who I am, and what I want to say. Um, I'm I'm very much a perfectionist. I like if the I just released a lyric video for Record Park, and I wanted to make sure that the lyric video, you know, spoke to me in just more ways. Just it's a lyric video. Like I edited a bunch of movie clips into them, a bunch of my favorite movie clips, and it just that in itself shows like my taste in movies, and it's almost an ode to my father and how we would just kick it and watch movies. And excuse me, sorry about that. But in any way that I could express myself, I'm going to, because I could give a different perspective that people aren't, used to, or they'll find interesting because it may be novel to them or something. I'm me at every which point, and hopefully I inspire someone to be just like that. Uh, there, there's no market for everything out here. So you as an artist, that there's going to be people who love you. So do stuff genuinely to you.
All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And that right there provides the perfect segue to the next segment. Because now, pardon me for a second, boom, boom, boom. Now, right? Now it's time for you to take the mic. And now it's time for you to show people why you shine. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, ZALES is now about to take the mic. So, you know what I mean, bro? You got space to do a couple of tracks. You know what I mean?
All
And
right.
if there's time, we'll see if we could squeeze in another if you want to. But hit us with a couple of tracks, to give the audience an idea of who you are, right? So at this time,
All
the
right,
floor
no
is yours,
problem.
yo.
Thank
All right,
you.
your
All right,
thing.
so I'm gonna do a couple of joints a cappella because I really want the audience to listen to the words of the raps and and to really understand like the literary devices that I use. So I'm gonna do a couple pieces for you. The first piece, and these are all raps. So the first one is called Badlands. You can actually listen to this song on Spotify and Apple Music. It's also on YouTube. I'm a nomad, a desperado, a man with no name. I'm wearing the mask of Zorro. The day after tomorrow left the world hollow, but I got a bottle, so there's no sorrow. A sip of bourbon keeps the world turning. My sternum making, but I'm making moves. It's a savage land. I've been known to break the rules. You get taken for a plate of food, don't get confused. I'm from the Bronx, I could get crazy too. Okay, shorty, you just play it cool. You playing games with the person without things to lose. Y'all better ante up, or else you get your family struck when everything like stamina to skate off like the Stanley Cup. I don't do it for the cameras. A real writer, I assassinate the characters. These rappers are getting massacred, dismembered, turned to carry on because their calligraphy ain't up to caliber. Living in the projects makes you feel like you're in Attica. Oh, you serving addicts now. You used to be so talented. Damn, what happened to the kids your parents used to brag about? Now we kill the night like fire in a dragon's mouth. On the real, we be spazzing out. I know a lot of people still don't got a bank account. Flexing on the gram for a little clout, you fly till you hit a drought. Fall makes you wish you picked a different route. All you brothers tripping, I be in the crib just chilling. Unless I make it all money, find me with my children. To be a superhero, gotta be somebody's villain. If you end up as a victim, just know that there's no hard feelings. You're dealing with the real one, Godzilla the Hun. I make waves that can cause entire cities to run. I'm in city, yes, I breathe oblivion from my lungs, cause hysteria, and then I get rid of the sun while y'all staring up. Evacuate the area. Zales bringing plagues, leave you sicker than malaria. Prepare for the worst. Words I kick in the verse, leave craters like my Timbs when I kick through the earth. Been a monster since birth like the Cyclops. Now I'm making stacks like flapjacks at IHOP. I'm the juggernaut. What are you doing on my block? Banging up the pads like a kitchen in a Thai spot. Zales. So that song's called Badlands. You can listen to it on Spotify, on Apple Music. Find me by Zales1, ZALES, no hyphen. The next piece I'm gonna do is called, this one I wrote, this is supposed to be on my next project, The Shogun in New York. This is called, what is the name of this? It's called The Hunted. So how I'm gonna do it, there's a hook section and a verse section, 2 verses. I'm gonna do the hook and then the 2 verses. There's supposed to be the verse, the hook repeated again at the 3rd time, but I'm gonna cut it short, just because I feel like it's more poetic. But it goes, I'm up before the sun's up, time to hustle, because this is the come up, get them ones in abundance. Remember when they all fronted, I rose above, so them people redundant. I've been there and done it. While you sit there and wonder, I see some things that you can't even stomach. You think your days are unnumbered? It's the hottest day of the summer. The 100 becomes the 100. I'm gonna keep it 100, miles and running, gunning for the top, reaching the summit. I summon the strength within to get a win with my twins. We got a sail full of wind while they sink and we swim. Get pressed like chest day at the gym. Shogun in New York, never wanted to be king. I only wanted to sing. But now I gather rings like the Mandarin and get in bands pulling strings like a mandolin. The Mandalorian, and this is the way, impeccable aim. Hit it off the hip with the flame. Remember the name. Zales1, no hyphen. You could call me Thor Edison and M. Bison. I'm biting ears off like Tyson in 96. My whole clan Wu-Tang on a 90 shit. My slimes are grimiest, we only built for Cuban links. We never care for what you lose a stink. Because we up for the sun's up. Time to hustle, because this is the come up. Get them ones in abundance. Remember when they all fronted, I rose above, so them people redundant. I've been there and done it. While you sit there and wonder, I see some things that you can't even stomach. You think your days are unnumbered? It's the hottest day of the summer. The 100 becomes the 100. I'm gonna take a leap because I'm stunting. Now nobody ain't telling me nothing because I won't follow instructions. It's like I'm drunk at the function and my bag about a bag. It isn't up for discussion. Ever since I lost my dad, I've been a cold motherfucker. Man, I'm trying to get a slap so I can't focus on others. Need light, so I open the shutters and tell my shorty I love her. I'm making move and I'll be back before supper. Stand tall, my brothers in arms. You better raise the alarms. A Bronx nigga, I was raised in the farms. Not a pawn scum nigga with the brain of a pawn. Insert the montage, watch me go above and beyond. I'm taking ears off like Tyson in 96. My whole clan Wu-Tang on a 90 shit. My slimes are grimiest, we only built for Cuban links. We never care for what you lose to stink. And the last piece I have prepared for y'all, this is a song that I wrote back when I was a young man in my 20s. I'm 34 now. And I add to it every once in a while because there's a point where I mentioned the mayor in New York, and we had a recent, mayor come in, Mayor Adams. So I had to edit that into the rap. But I'm gonna show you that one. That one is called Cut the Clouds, and I feel this is the most poetic piece that I have tonight. One moment. All right. So this one goes. I'm from a city that never sleeps, so I never quite get a piece of the peace. You'll never know when there's beef. From a place where young kids get killed in the park, and niggas are quick to test you if you think that you're smart. You need to know your role, because if you don't play your part, the end credits will roll with God playing the harp. The Assassin's Creed is simply making the mark. The sounds of gunshots is the same as breaking a heart. You can never catch a break in a spot. You got to take it. You can get trapped on your block, just like the Matrix. This place has become a part of me. I say solemnly, one day you win the lottery, the next the robbery. I seen giants against jets with no terrorist threats and faces I can never protect. Fuck Rudy and Bloomberg for making this mess. And fuck de Blasio and Adams for making me stress. The skyscrapers cut the clouds until they bleed. The blood washes down and it gets into the seed. The seed grows and buds out the concrete, and can't wait for more blood to flow into the streets. It can't wait for blood to flow into the streets. The rose that grew from the seed in the concrete, the blood washed down and then fed the seed. The skyscrapers cut the clouds until they bleed. People struggle from around my way. Or you balling, don't even run your mouth that way. We snatch chains solely to satisfy the hunger. While you talking big digits, we ain't satisfied with numbers. Only thing we could count on is dead bodies, lies, broken promises, and the tears that we cry. Homicide, suicide, mortality rates rise. Swallowing the sorrow down with the bottle of St. Odds. I learned that saints don't survive in this wicked place. Having faith is just another way to raise the stakes, but don't get it twisted. We don't raise the weight. We just move it. With razor blades, we shave the plates. Amazing grace. Mother, sin for my sins, because the feds are trying to single me in. And if they do, you know what's far from the end. I promise one day you will see me again. I'm so sorry. The skyscrapers cut the clouds until they bleed. The blood washes down and it gets into the seed. The seed grows and buds out the concrete and can't wait for more blood to flow into the streets. It can't wait for blood to flow into the streets. That rose that grew from the seed and the concrete. The blood washed down and then fed the seed because the skyscrapers cut the clouds until they bleed. The skyscrapers cut the clouds until they bleed. And that's what I have for you tonight, folks.
Yo, bars, bars, bars. Like
Thank you, brother.
absolute bars. Ladies and gentlemen, that was ZALES, the one and only ZALES. Yo, lit, absolutely lit, bro. Yo,
thank you, brother.
Tell all the people where they can find you on social media and your streaming platforms.
All right. So on social media, you can find me ZALES1. That will be as one word, ZALESONE. You can find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, but I can't post right now because I was falsely reported for promoting my song for some nonsense. But you could also check out my content here on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ZALES and Destroy. I have a tattoo that says skate and destroy. That's kind of where it comes from. It's a skateboarder thing, but ZALES and Destroy on YouTube. And I'm also, you're gonna have to search this because we don't have a URL yet, but you can go on YouTube and you look up the Carbon Couple, or you can find vlogs and streaming that I do with my fiance.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now don't go nowhere because we still got a few more minutes.
No
so
doubt.
I'm just gonna share my screen again. Because now this time we're gonna take a couple of minutes to do a Q&A session. All right, so I'm gonna pose a few questions to you, my brother. And first one is this. Now, what you know, everybody has their own mission when they take the mic, right? What do you hope to accomplish with your work? Like what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind with your words?
I want people to see that, like, all right, it's a very good question. So I grew up in a family that English wasn't the first language. I learned English off TV, like WandaVision, if you ever seen that. And I just want people to know that I came from nothing and I've gotten to this level, that you can do it too. That having the skills to, like, yeah, it's a lot, but anybody can take music and etymology and, you know, meter and add all those things together to make something great. And no matter where you come from, you can make great art.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, what you got any events or shows coming up that you want to share with our audience?
Yes, I do. So right now, actually next Thursday, I am hosting at Casa Restaurant and Lounge. I host the Word Masters open mic every month, which happens the last Thursday of the month. And you will actually be one of our featured poets at our next show.
Shameless plug, shameless plug.
Yeah, so if you want to come and hang out with us, have a drink with us, we will be at Casa Restaurant and Lounge next week. Right now, I'm just focused on working on music and getting some material out so people could, you know, hear my stuff and figure out who I am. But there are going to be shows coming up. I'm pretty much planning to be hitting up open mics all throughout the Bronx, New York, you know, uptown in Harlem, even trying to go out to Brooklyn. It's just right now, you know, the summer slump, artists really don't get a lot of money. when people are out on vacation and not in the city. So I'm waiting for people to come back and start getting business rolling so I can then hit all these events and, you know, show people what I'm about.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, like your younger self when you were just starting out in this, you know, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to never quit. It's even something that my older self needs to hear, to never quit. I know this journey as an artist is a struggle, and especially when you're doing it completely independent. I don't have like a team of producers or anything doing that stuff for me. Anything that you see me put out is pretty much just me. I'll get like a little bit of help, like my song Rucker Park that I just released. It was mastered by my boy June Jux. But everything else, the production, the recording, the mixing, that was all me. The making of the video, the creating of the artwork for the single. And I would tell my younger self that you got this, that keep doing what you're doing. Don't ever waver, don't ever falter. There's gonna be times where you want to stop, but never stop. You could rest, but never stop. And I would tell my younger self that you're gonna do things that you thought you never would do because of this music thing, even to the point where it even helps feed your family. I'll probably be like, get out of here. He's there, what are you talking about? But I'd be like, nah, like for real, like I've even inspired people to, you know, rap or do other artistic things. And the fact that my art, you know, inspired them to do that, and they create great art. It's amazing to see. When Tupac said, I may not change the world, but I may inspire the mind that changes the world. You know, I aspire for that. I want somebody to see my art and put a fire in them, that they create something that, you know, changes the zeitgeist completely. And I'll tell myself, you're going to be part of it. You just got to be patient. It's all patience, it's perseverance, and you just got to stick with it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Most definitely. Most definitely. Now, it's another important question. If you had to choose between, you know, being on an independent label, whether it's your own label or another independent label or a major label, like what would be your preference and why?
So I would have to say that parts of me are on both sides, because I put out music independently through I created a record label. It's called Fountainhead Records. I'm the only artist on it. I'm pretty much do everything that a label's supposed to do with their artists, but it's just all me. I just put on different caps and talk to myself. It's almost like I'm schizophrenic. And I admire the underground work ethic and the indie label ethic, because a lot of the music that I just adore comes from smaller imprints and indie labels, like, you know, like Capitol Records or Sony might release a salsa record, but it's not hitting like the way those Fania records used to hit. You know what I'm saying? Like those smaller imprints with niche, with you know, a tighter niche, they're able to make cult classics. And there's a lot of independent people coming out that's doing really big things. I think every independent artist should like look at people like Russ and look at people like Ryan Leslie and see like the things they've done as an independent, you know, artist, and doing their own thing, because ownership is very big now, especially in this day and age with intellectual property. The creators got to have control of what they create, and so that's what smaller labels do. But I'd be lying if I'd say I wouldn't take a check if, you know, if Def Jam came to me and was like, hey, we'll pay you $1 million right now, you know, I would heavily consider it. And I would take account into like, depending on the record label, if it's like Rock Nation coming to me, or if it's Def Jam, which has so much history, or if it's, you know, like if Loud were to come back or something, or Definitive Jux or Ruckus, like I'd be, you know, they might be independent labels, but if they have big backing and able to create something, it really like just give me the resources so I could create my art. If I was given $1 million right now, I'll probably sign. But in 5 years, if let's say I was able to, excuse me, if I was able to make it like Russ, where I'm making $100,000 a year independently, then I might continue on with that. So it's a nuance.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. And what direction do you see your music going in? It's like, do you have a particular sound that you're aiming for, or do you feel you're just content with, you know, where you are right now? Do you feel you've reached the type of flow and the type of vibe that you want?
So when it comes to rapping ability, I feel like I still have a little bit of work to do. One of the things that I want to practice more is freestyling. I think freestyling is a skill that is very rare to see in hip hop, especially seen done well. There are people like Dizzy Sense, who is currently traveling on tour with Freestyle Love Supreme, which is Lin-Manuel Miranda's rap freestyle show. She is a monster. She came to a cipher that was happening here in West Farms that my boy Canvas was doing, and seeing that like level of just like mastery of the freestyling craft was just inspiring to me. Another dope freestyle rapper is Eli Black. I just saw him perform at Chelsea Music Hall. He opened for Tyrone. He's a crazy freestyler. Like, the man can freestyle for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes probably. And that harkens back to like the days of what's this guy? This brother, forget the brother's name, but he was like crazy freestyle. They could just freestyle like infinitely. That's something I feel I want to get, you know, back on par with. And when it comes to stylistically, I have this project that I'm working on that's more gritty, you know, right now, but I have another project that I'm working on that has to do more with like being an artist in general. And there's a lot of like allegories to painting and stuff in it, because I'm also a visual artist, and I want to get more heartfelt and soulful and more introspective with my music, where it's actually digging deep into why I feel the way that I feel, instead of just expressing how I feel. And it's also the production too. It depends on how I'm feeling stylistically when it comes to production and musically. As time progresses, I know that I employ a lot of more different musical elements, getting into like, you know, writing stuff in different key signatures, and, you know, trying different time signatures or even modulation. And so me getting more comfortable with that is going to lead the music to go somewhere different. But I hope to still keep this genuine feeling that I have with my music, and just make it, you know, I guess bigger, just bigger in scope, more theatrical. I want people to feel the music, even if I'm not rapping. The instrumental makes you feel something. The video makes you feel something. The artwork makes you feel something. It's the devil's in the details, and so I just got to make sure everything is, you know, to my liking, but isn't perfect, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. So I got to learn to let go too.
Right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So as we close out this interview, bro, I don't want you to go nowhere, because I'm just going to share one more screen. And as I do that, I'm going to bring back that intro beat, because that beat was sick as we close out. You know what I mean? So I'm going to first share my screen. Right. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to let the beat drop. Yes. We in here. You know what I mean? This is how we closing out season 2, episode 1 of the P.W.P sessions, featuring my guest ZALES, who blazed the mic tonight. Right. This is how we closing out. Ladies and gentlemen. We close out this episode. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. Thank you to Zales. Zales, great
Thank you.
conversation. You blazed the
Yes.
mic. You show everybody what you can do. You showed everybody why you shine. So I say to you, my brother, keep shining, keep shining, keep blazing
Thank
that
you,
mic,
brother.
keep pressing, keep pushing, keep working your art. You know what I mean? Do your thing, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Carve your own path. You know what I mean? Thank you for being my guest tonight. And
Thank
for
you.
those of you that wish to connect with the P.W.P sessions and Poets with Purpose, you can connect with the Facebook group, Poets with Purpose. You can also connect on Twitter @PoetsWPurpose and the YouTube channel of the same name, Poets with Purpose. For those of you that wish to make a donation, you can do so through PayPal, Tap Media Man, $The Anointed Pen, or Zelle using my phone number 646-372-6230. Logos and flyers for the P.W.P sessions and Poets with Purpose are designed by the amazing team at Eclipse Graphics New York. You can find them on Instagram at @Eclipse Graphics NY. You can look them up, ask for samples of their work, and hit them up if you want them to do any work for yourself. And lastly, y'all stay tuned for season 2, episode 2 of the P.W.P sessions, where I'm bringing on another blazing MC, blazing his own trail by the name of Fuji Don the Famous. Y'all don't want to miss this, yo. I'm going to
Yeah,
be
he the homie.
interviewing him on Monday, August 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your calendars, set your alarms. You don't want to miss this one. I told y'all this season is about to be lit, and I'm shifting gears, and I'm bringing on the dope artists and the brilliant MCs. You will not be disappointed. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Brother Zales. This episode will be uploaded to the Poets with Purpose YouTube channel within the next hour or so. So be on the lookout for it so you can freely share it to your social media platforms. Thank you all so much for your time and attention. I appreciate your love and support. Have a good night, and God bless y'all as we let the beat drop. We let the beat drop. Yes, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.